What's up, YouTube? This week's Geeky Acrylics video is a time-lapse of my latest custom book Funko. Earlier this year, I enjoyed reading Tracy Deonn's Legendborn, which is a young adult fantasy novel that's a modern-day spin on the King Arthur tale. So this adds mystery with secret societies, and it really dives into grief with the main character, Bree, still reeling after the loss of her mom, whose death Bree soon comes to believe was not an accident, but a cover-up of a secret society on our college campus. So there's, mystery and magic, and obviously if this is a King Arthur reimagining, it's not much of a spoiler to say that there's a sword in the stone involved. So I knew right away I wanted to make this piece really dynamic and incorporate the sword in the stone into the base. So right away from reading this book and seeing the beautiful cover, I was just really inspired, and the book was fantastic. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put the links in the description below if you're interested, if you love fantasy novels, King Arthur, girl power, anything like that. Definitely give this book a try. So the cover's really beautiful, and I just wanted to do a really dynamic pop for this. So here you see I'm sculpting out the base. This is the rock that's going to hold the sword. And so I'm just really trying to get a lot of texture in there. I'm using super sculpey beige, like the, just basically the standard polymer clay that I use. And I'm just trying to decide how I want to lay everything out. I knew I wanted the sword to be durable. Even though it's going to be encased in the stone, I want to bake something, sturdy. And you have to be really careful with pieces of clay that thin. So I used a piece of armature wire to be like the inside, the skeleton of that sword, so to speak, just to make sure it was really durable. And then I used my bacon bond to secure the sword, which I baked separately. It's great because I use the Super Sculpey Firm, just because it holds details. It doesn't get quite as soft in your hands, and I wouldn't, lose the little details and smush it. And if you're curious about the Sculpey Bacon Bond, the adhesive I used to put the sword in the stone, I did a tutorial last week on that. It's a really great product to add to your polymer clay adventures. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you're planning on using polymer clay in the future. So I was able to use most of the just existing pop details. I found a body that worked really well. So I only really had to sculpt Bree's necklace, and then just primed it and tried to paint it the color. I'm basically trying to mimic what was on the book cover. So yeah, I think the base came out really well. It's got great texture there. I just wanted to be as accurate as possible. The sword in the stone, obviously I have a little more room to play with there because I looked up pictures of like King Arthur's sword and stuff, and like there's different versions. Sometimes it was gold, sometimes it was silver. In the book, it was described as having, I want to say like a white diamond in the hilt. So that's what I go with. Later on, I think the stone turns red, if I remember correctly, but yeah, you'll have to read to know more about that. Yeah, so on the cover, it shows Bree with red and blue flames, like just glowing bright, circling both her arms. And I thought that was super cool. The color, use of color on the cover is really great. And so I wanted to capture that. And I think it came out really well. At first, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I could have essentially just painted flames, like colorful circles on her arm, but I just don't think it would have been dynamic enough. I was scared it was just going to look like weird swirly sleeves or something. So I did use the clay there to accent that and make it really stand out. I just painted the skin tone down though as a base just to make sure I got good coverage. And then you'll see in a minute I'll come back in with the flames. So in the cover she's wearing a black shirt, and I think all the art that I saw, she had some fan art created or some artwork created for this, and in all of it she seemed to be wearing like a sleeveless black top, so that's what I went with here. And then I think in the book she wore denim a bit, so I just put her in some sneakers and some denim. Yeah, at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to add the highlights of color on her hair. In the book, you know, the glow from the flames is so vibrant that it kind of highlights her hair on both sides. And I thought that was so cool. So you'll see after I add one color of the flames there, I go in and I lay down some white just to kind of glaze that over and make sure that that orange is really gonna pop there. So it's like a reddish orange. It's a mix. I think the flames are essentially supposed to be like red, but it's a orange red mix that I use here. But you can let me know if this was a hit or a miss, if I should have left the glow off the hair or not. But I think it looks really cool. You know, Bree's a really cool character. She's obviously a strong character. They do a great job of dealing with, you know, with grief in the book, and, you know, how you feel and how everyone else treats you and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a really great book. I really hope some of you guys go and click that link and grab a copy, support the author. Yeah, I've also done some other ones. The Locked Tomb series, I did Gideon and Harrow. I did a video for Harrow the Ninth, so I'll link that in the description below as well as the Funkos from the L.L. McKinney's A Blade So Black series, which is another awesome YA fantasy. So I'll link those in the description below. I really hope you enjoyed this. Comment down below if you've read this book. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you're reading. I read a lot of fantasy, especially YA fantasy. So yeah, I hope you will smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. I do a lot of custom Funkos, a lot of sculpting tutorials with polymer clay, and hopefully I'll have some more book Funkos for you guys in the future. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.